The earth is round, water is wet, and there are secret organizations that want to control the world. Now, some of these organizations are harmless, like the Freemasons, while others are not so harmless, like the New World Order. Together, these groups have infiltrated every aspect of our lives and are pulling the strings from behind the curtain. They control the media, the economy, technology, and they're using these tools to control us. But what if there's something else, something more sinister lurking in the shadows? What if there's a secret government that's controlling everything and we don't even realize it? To answer this question, we need to first understand how the powers that be currently control us. There are three main tools they use: the media, the economy, and technology. The media is used to control our minds. The economy is used to control our wallets, and technology is used to control our lives. Let's take a look at each one. First, the media. It's no secret that the media is controlled by a few large corporations. In fact, 90% of the media is owned by just 10 companies. This means that the majority of what we see and hear has already been filtered through a very small number of sources, and these sources are not beyond influencing public opinion. For example, a recent study found that the mainstream media is more than twice as likely to repeat government talking points than independent media outlets. In other words, the mainstream media is a propaganda machine. They tell us what to think, what to say, and what to do. They've successfully brainwashed us into believing their version of reality. But there's more. The media also controls our culture. What we watch, listen to, and read shapes our values, beliefs, and attitudes. For example, a study found that exposure to violent video games can lead to desensitization, which can then lead to aggressive behavior. Now let's look at the economy. The global financial system is controlled by a small group of people who make up the global elite. These individuals and families hold a disproportionate amount of wealth and power, and they use it to control the world. For example, the Bank of International Settlements, also known as the Central Bank of Central Banks, has the power to control the global financial system. They oversee the world's central banks, and they set the rules that all other banks must follow. This gives them an incredible amount of power over the world's economy, and they use this power to control us. For example, when the global elite wants to make sure that a certain country stays poor, they simply tighten lending rules, which makes it harder for people in that country to get loans and start businesses. Or, when they want to make sure that a certain country stays rich, they loosen lending rules, which makes it easier for people in that country to get loans and start businesses. Finally, let's look at technology. Technology is another tool that's used to control us. For example, social media platforms have become all-powerful. They control what information we see and how we interact with each other. For example, a study found that Facebook can influence people's emotions by changing the algorithm that determines what posts people see on their newsfeed. They can make people feel happy by showing them more positive posts, or they can make people feel sad by showing them more negative posts. But what if there's something else lurking in the shadows? What if there's a secret government that's controlling everything and we don't even realize it? If such a government exists, it would have to be highly advanced and operate completely under our radar. We have to remember that these organizations have infiltrated every aspect of our lives. They control the media, the economy, and technology. This means that any government that wants to operate in secret would have to be highly skilled and have a lot of resources. It would have to be an organization that's more powerful than the Illuminati, more secretive than the Freemasons, and more ruthless than the New World Order. We can't know its name because it would compromise our mission. But we can tell you this: its members are some of the richest and most powerful people in the world. They meet regularly in secret locations to plot and scheme. Their goal is simple, total control. They want to control every aspect of our lives. They want to tell us what to think, what to say, and what to do. They want to make us into their perfect little puppets. If you want to learn more about this secret government, then you need to continue watching our videos. We're the only ones brave enough to expose their secrets. But you need to hurry because they won't let this video go without a fight. Click on this video to learn more about the Illuminati and their plan for world domination. Or click on this video to learn more about the Freemasons and their secret rituals. Don't wait. The fate of the world is at stake.